There will be a full moon and lunar eclipse in Gemini on November 28, 2012 at 6:46 a.m. Pacific Standard Time or 9:46 a.m. Eastern Time and 2:46 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. After a month filled with Scorpion angst and retrograding heavy hitters like Jupiter and Mercury, this full moon lunar eclipse in Gemini finishes the cycle started by the annular eclipse on May 20th of this year. During a lunar eclipse, the moon moves into the shadow of the earth. In the philosophy of astrology, this is considered a time for turning our focus inward towards personal issues of comfort, security, home, and family. This Gemini full moon will bring focus to your conscious desires, fears, and anxieties, helping us to define that which drives and motivates us to manifest successful outcomes. Since Gemini is considered to be the archetype twins of the zodiac and duality, expect to have all of your assumptions questioned. This dance between the focus of emotional needs and the programmed behavior instilled in us by our society may push you to define who you really are on your own terms. Resolving this conflict is a key step to make so that you may live out your authentic truth in the greater world which seeks to define you through the process of institutional hierarchy and socialization. Gemini is often represented by a pair of twins or the Roman numeral 2. The twins obviously have many meanings, but the common association is with Castor and Pollux or Helen of Troy and Clytemnestra. The Roman numeral 2 is duality itself. It is the positive and negative poles that are connected by a circuit. This expression of Gemini in the physical realm is night and day, conscious and unconscious, male and female, light and dark, the quiet of stillness or the loudness of speed, and the list goes on. Gemini is a mutable air sign that is the third sign of the zodiac ecliptic, occupying the third house. This mutable force finishes off the spring in the northern hemisphere and the fall in the southern hemisphere. The Roman numeral 2 that symbolizes Gemini represents the pillars of knowledge in esoteric teachings. These positive and negative pillars can be associated with the same pillars that enclose the tree of life. Gemini is ruled by the planet and messenger god of wisdom, education, communication, and the mind that we call Mercury. Gemini shares its day of the week, Wednesday, with Virgo because it is the midpoint that divides the 7-day week. This division is also symbolic of the two hemispheres of the brain, the waking and sleep states of the mind, and the introverted or extroverted characteristics that define communications and interpersonal relationships. The month of May is named after Mercury's mother, Maia. Maia is the eldest of 7 daughters that are known in mythology as the Pleiades. Did I mention that Maia's father is the god Atlas? Yes, that Atlas, the same Atlas who led the fight against the Olympian gods. The Atlas that has an ocean named after him and is rumored to have a whole continent civilization named after him called Atlantis. So in order to understand Gemini's complex character, it is important to know a little bit about the divine lineage of Gemini's ruling planet named after the cosmic magician Mercury. The Gemini constellation can be found between Taurus and Cancer on the zodiac ecliptic. Gemini is one of the original 48 constellations recorded by Ptolemy and remains one of the 88 constellations approved by the International Astronomical Union. There are many myths associated with the Gemini twins and its ruling planet Mercury. The variations of these myths can be seen in Theogony, the Iliad, and the Odyssey, which chronicle the politics of the Trojan War and much of the mythology of Greece. The most well-known myth about the Gemini twins is about how Jupiter changed himself into a swan to mate with Leda. Some accounts say that Leda produced 4 eggs, and some accounts say that she produced only 2. The most common account is that of Castor and Pollux. When Castor died during a battle, Pollux pleaded with Jupiter to keep him with his brother. Jupiter granted his wish and placed the twins among the stars. In the myth involving Gemini's ruling planet Mercury lies the tale of how baby Mercury played a practical joke on the sun god Apollo by stealing Apollo's cattle. In the beginning, Mercury's mother, Maia, did not believe Apollo. Eventually, Apollo brought his case to the highest court among the Olympians, Jupiter himself. Mercury eventually confessed to the crime and bestowed a lyre that he made out of a tortoise shell and leather to his half-brother Apollo. I guess now we know why Mercury is also associated with thieves and liars. The lyre settled the conflict peacefully with Apollo, and it became common knowledge that Apollo used the lyre in his role as the leader of the 9 muses. Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun and therefore is considered the messenger of the gods. Mercury's caduceus is considered a herald. This is the main reason many news media organizations use the words Mercury or herald in its names to associate a sense of authority to its products. In astrophysics, Mercury takes 88 Earth days to travel around the Sun, which gives the visual illusion that it moves retrograde at least 3 times a year. This is the reason we tend to associate Mercury with speed or use the term quicksilver. Since it takes Mercury 59 Earth days to rotate once on its axis, we can safely say that a day on Mercury is only about 1/3 shorter than a year on Mercury. Known as Hermes, Thoth, Tehuti, Thoth Trismegistus, Merlin, Woden, Iris, Seshat, and Archangel Raphael, Mercury's traits contribute heavily to the archetype of the Gemini twins and the persona of each Gemini on Earth.
You better look out for the movies.